Hello friends, welcome back to another session for my financial predictions. Today is the 17th of July and you can see that just like I predicted, guys, gold had a very volatile day today. Okay, look at this. I told you, and I always tell you this, that whenever you see a day shared by opposite energies, such as the case right here, it's on the green and the red circle, that means that day is almost guaranteed to be extremely volatile, okay? And in this case, not only was extremely volatile, but also we got mixed energies as well. Why? Because I told you, expect some really good pumps, expect also some nice, or rather, some powerful corrections as well. And that's exactly what we got today. Okay, so the 17th of July starts around here. Okay, drops almost 1% and goes back up again to 1%. So very volatile day, basically almost in range. Technically in range. Yeah, it's technically in range, perfectly in range actually. So we got a very volatile day again. Gold this week has not really been so good for gold. We can see that I also told you that this week could open with some powerful corrections, and that's exactly what happened on the previous days. For example, we got one on the 14th. Technically was a correction, but kind of in range. But the 15th of July was complete red. I mean, look at this. It's a massive crash, massive. The 16th of July was kind of a day also extremely volatile, but also in range. The position where it ends is very similar to where it starts. So what we can see maybe tomorrow is another very volatile day, which could be leaning towards more of a correction. So if we actually see that, I believe there will be some mixed energies in that day, just like today. But again, if it ends up being a powerful correction, we can expect something like 80% or more to 1%. I really don't believe we can see more than that. So if we actually get this, we'll basically return to the support zone that we are sharing with the 10th of July and today on the very bottom, and maybe a little bit higher, a little bit lower. But yeah, it's technically around this range where I believe. If we do actually see a correction, it will basically look like. Okay, so for the next week, we also get some not so good news for gold. We can open on the first 3 days with a very strong correction. And I believe it could happen more likely on the 23, but if it doesn't happen on the 23, that means it will happen on either 21 or 22, which means there's the potential of seeing consecutive red days for gold, just like we saw for the 14th and 15th of July. So be prepared to see something like that, even worse maybe, because this week, the next week, unlike this one, doesn't have as many green circles. It's kind of more undecided, so it's going to be interesting to look at. I told you in my very first video that you can see maybe gold going red this month of July. For some reason, there is a possibility of that. What tells me, basically what leads me to that theory is that the number of red boxes is way higher than the other ones. So that kind of tells me it will be possibly leaning towards, or more like there are more chances for a correction this month for gold. Okay, now let's take a look at oil, which is the other chart. And you can see also, again, very much like gold, okay? So we got a powerful correction on gold on the 14th, completely extremely volatile. Just like I told you, I already covered this in the other videos. The 15th of July was a day in range, basically, nothing much to say about this day. The 16th of July, I believe, was a correction, again, a range, so kind of in range. And today, the 17th of July, it's interesting. Why is the 17th of July missing so many hours? I don't know. This is one of the first time. I'm not really an expert doing oil, so you'll have to excuse me But yeah, for some reason today on gold was only worth like a couple hours, so I don't know what happened there. I was expecting a correction. Technically, it is a correction that I predicted, but because there are only a couple hours on the market for oil for some reason, it's not the powerful volatility that I was expecting. I don't know. I really don't know what happened today. But yeah, guys, the same outlook basically is present for tomorrow. It's going to be a very volatile day with undecided energies or mixed energies. So we'll get some interesting developments with gold. With gold and oil. For the next week, at least gold tells me that maybe Monday could be good or not as bad as will be for gold. But at the same time, it also gives me the volatility signal for either the 22 or the 23. And in this case, I believe gold is primed towards a correction. Okay. Even judging and looking at the current performance, comparing gold to oil, I believe it's kind of the same, kind of in range to the moment. But yeah, maybe a little bit worse for oil. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Again, if you want to see the crypto predictions, go to the other channel. Okay, I'm doing the crypto prediction and they are extremely successful. And you can also see correlations and interesting relationships between gold and cryptos. You can see, for example, many of the red days, extreme corrections were also present in gold as well as in the Bitcoin charts. So very interesting what we can see. For example, on Bitcoin, we got a green day for today. That's exactly what happens. So the same performance, the same warning signals for the future in the very near future. We're talking corrections around the 18 to 20, 21 to 22. Yeah, looks like we'll see that basically it's imminent already. So having said that, guys, again, like, share and subscribe, follow my work, especially on the Twitter account, which is where I post most and I am the most active. So having said that, guys, have a good day and take care.